Hi everyone, today I'm gonna do another Netflix video because if you're like me and you scroll down or right on Netflix for a long time not knowing what to watch, then I want to give you some recommendations and things that I've enjoyed recently. If there's only one thing that you're gonna try to watch in this video, please let it be this first one that I'm gonna tell you about because I loved it so much. And it's Lupin or Lupin because it's a French TV show. It only has it's 2 seasons, 5 episodes each, so it's quite short, but the episodes are really fast-paced, things happen in all the episodes, and I'd rather have 5 episodes where things happen than 20 where half of them are just a bit of nothing. So I'm really happy about that. It's really well made. I don't want to tell you too much about what it's about because I don't want to spoil it, I don't want to give clues that might spoil it later on, but I'll say that it reminds me so much of Sherlock. And maybe in theme a little bit to Money Heist, but not in what the characters are or the development of the story or anything like that, more in the theme. But Sherlock and maybe Luther, but definitely Sherlock, it's so much like it, but I think it's a bit better, I don't know. I watch it in French with subtitles on because I do know a bit of French, but not enough to follow the whole thing, so I do need the subtitles. It is dubbed as well if you don't want to watch it in French, but I do recommend it just because you see how the actors intended to do everything. And I feel like so many more people need to be talking about this because it was so good. They've just released season 2, so they'll potentially do a 3, but it might come out in a while. So yeah, I really liked it, really surprised and really enjoyed it, so definitely recommend this one 100%. Then I have 3 shows that I'm gonna order them from less tweeny to more tweeny. They're a bit more fantasy, supernatural sort of thing, like magic related. But yeah, I'm gonna order them from less tweeny to more tweeny. The first one on the less tweeny side is Shadow and Bone. Shadow and Bone is based on books that I have not read, so I have no idea how it compares to the books. The only thing I've heard is that in the TV show some of the characters meet before they do in the books, just because it has to be a bit more fast-paced than what books are usually like if they're trying to like catch people's attention and, you know, get a second season booked in and stuff. So yeah, that's the only thing I know, but I have not read the book, so I don't know how it compares. I really liked it, and I do enjoy that sort of fantasy thing, so I might be biased, but my fiance was also watching and he liked it too. I love the world building in it because it explains a lot about how it all happened and, you know, who's magic, who's not, how the powers work and things like that. It's one of those stories where you have one young girl who comes from nowhere and suddenly she's really important to the whole plot, the storyline in the world. So it is that kind of thing that you might have seen before, but I do like how they go about it and what they do with the characters. There's also a lot of characters and sort of like different storylines that you follow along, which I quite enjoy. It's not just this one girl and what happens to her, it's also what happens to a few other characters. So I did really like it. It's on the less tweeny side of the fantasy theme, so yeah, if you're into that, or even if you're not that much into it, I'd recommend it. The second one is The Irregulars, which has a really weird premise that I wasn't sure about, and it took me a while to actually decide to watch it because I thought it's a bit weird. I don't know how this works. It's set in Victorian London, and this group of teenagers help Watson from like Sherlock and Watson with some cases that all involve some supernatural aspects. So it's a mix of a lot of things that you might not think work together, but somehow they do. It's not an amazing show where you're like, wow, I'm so surprised, but I did really enjoy it, and it's also only about 7 or 8 episodes. It has Sherlock and Watson in it, but the main characters are the teenagers, so it's a bit different, and yeah, they tried to do a lot of things in it. I liked it. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And the last one from the 3 fantasy ones is going to be WINX The Fate Saga, which is based on a cartoon. I think if you're my age or younger, you might remember the WINX cartoon, which was just fairies, colorful fairies in this colorful world. But I think they've done the Riverdale treatment to this show. Basically, they've made it teenagers at school and a bit dark, if you know what I mean. The storyline just follows a bunch of teenagers who have magic powers. They're like fairies, but they look more like witches. It doesn't, you know, they don't have wings and stuff like that. And they're in a school all together, and it's what happens to them and all that kind of thing. That's why I say it's a bit more tweeny, because it's more about the relationships between the kids in the school rather than the world and the magic and all that stuff. For a show that I only watched because I was curious, I did watch the whole thing, so I did enjoy it. Again, it's nothing out of the ordinary, but if you're bored and just looking for something to watch and you enjoy Riverdale and that kind of show, then you might like this one too. Then I have two that are a bit more mystery, psychological thriller, but more on the mystery side, like drama type of things. The first one is called Behind Her Eyes. This is a mini-series. I think, you know, they finished the storyline quite well, so I don't think there's a season 2 coming. And I really liked the first 5 episodes. After that, I think they lost it for me, but the first 5 episodes, I loved it. It starts with this woman and this man meeting in a bar, and they like each other, but he turns out to be her new boss, and he's already married, but you see that something's off with him and the wife, and you're like, what happened to them? Like, you try to put all the pieces together, and you know there's something missing that you don't know about, and you're trying to figure it out. And again, the first 5 episodes, I thought it was incredible. I was loving it so much. After that, they kind of lost it for me. They went in a way that I was not expecting, and I was like, oh. And I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. I was quite disappointed, because I think it depends on what you're expecting from it. If you already have a few ideas in mind of what could be happening, you might be disappointed if it's not what you thought, because they go, I'm not gonna say much, because yeah, if you find out now, then it ruins the whole thing for you, because now knowing the ending, if I watch from the start, then I can see it happening throughout. So it does make sense, but it's just not what I wanted, really. So yeah, a bit disappointed. If you've watched it and you were also disappointed, let me know in the comments. Obviously, don't say what it was, but let me know if you also thought the same. And the other one I have here is The One, which I watched because the premise seemed a bit similar to one episode from Black Mirror. If you know the episode of Black Mirror with a dating app, this one has nothing to do with it. The storylines are completely different, but the thing with the dating app just reminded me of it, so I just wanted to see how it compared. It follows this woman who creates an app, which is like a dating app, where she's able to match you with your soulmate based on your DNA. So that's why I feel like it has that Black Mirror feel to it, although the other episode's completely different. And then it follows a few things with her life and a few other things, which is that sort of mystery, and you're trying to find out what happened to the characters and all that stuff. You do have to accept that the whole thing with the DNA is something they can do, and then once you accept that, then you're fine. It's a bit like Black Mirror. It's not set in the distant future, but you understand that it's not the present as it is today. So yeah, once you get past that, then it's quite good. And yeah, it's mysterious, and yeah, there's a bit of drama, but like in a darker way. So I really liked it. I was quite surprised, and yeah, I definitely recommend it too. And the last one I have is completely different to all the others, and it's Superstore. Superstore is a comedy, just 20-minute comedy, that reminds me a lot of shows like The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and all of those, because it's set in a store, kind of like Target or Walmart in the States. And it follows all the employees and what happens to them on a day-to-day basis, the relationships, and all that stuff. It's not as funny as The Office. The American Office is honestly one of my favorite TV shows ever. Aside from Westworld, then it's The Office. It's definitely the one that I've seen the most times. So it's not The Office. It's not as funny, at least to me, but I did really like it, and I was hooked on it for ages. It's 6 seasons. Only 5 of them are on Netflix as of right now, but hopefully if you start watching now, by the time you get to the end of season 5, they would have had season 6 as well. I used to watch it on my lunch breaks, I used to watch it all the time, and it's really easy to watch because it obviously has lighter themes and topics within it. So if you're looking for something easy to watch, or if you don't want to pay too much attention to all the details in a story, then it's really easy to just sit, watch it and enjoy. So I definitely recommend it for that reason. And yeah, I loved it, so hopefully you like it too. And that's all the TV shows that I had for you today. If you guys have any other recommendations for me, let me know in the comments so I can stop scrolling on Netflix. Especially if you know any that are similar to the ones that I've talked about, let me know. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and leave me comments below, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Bye!